honestly, I'm not even sure if this is gonna work. I've been having issues with the graphics card. Actually, all this week. That's pretty much the reason for no streaming. Just I don't know how much longer this old 9800 GT is gonna last. I mean, come on. How old is this graphics card possibly? Like, how long do you expect it to last, honestly? Alright, hopefully the audio is not off. Kind of busy week with just odd projects, really. Something I said before I started the stream, I'm actually recording the audio for this. I have a separate channel running out of the mixer just strictly to record the audio. So, that is going to be on the website. It's going to be the first official episode of the podcast. So, nothing real amazing or exciting. Hoping that the audio sounds better with these microphones. They're dynamic mics versus the condenser mics that we had. Condensers are amazing for if you want to do like voiceover or add commentary to a video. However, they're super sensitive. Unless you have them, you're just not going to get the best quality audio that you can, especially with the cars passing by along the Route 53 out here. So Friday's here. Just wanted to do a short little stream. Make it a actual episode for the podcast. So I hope it don't turn out too bad. And another thing, where did they go? Yep. We actually switched over along with the microphones. We switched over from your typical like pencil and type mounts, which any force or anything that interacts with like a mic arm, when you have a mic held in one of these, you will hear a little bit of it. However, I just got some PVC pipe and hair ties, like the ponytail holders, without the ones without the metal on that girls use to pull their hair up, and some guys. I guess if you got long hair, I don't want to exclude anybody, girls, guys. And kind of hard to see. Let me disconnect one over here, and I'll kind of show a little bit about it. Alright, basically, this is just one, I'm not even sure what size it was. It's an inch and something PVC pipe, and I just took and drilled holes in it and ended up adding hair ties to make a cross in there. You know, I started one here, ran across, and drilled holes, cut slits in it with a Dremel tool, and I'll show a close-up of it, or maybe, well, now I'm not going to put a photo on. I don't have another camera here to take a picture and flash on screen, but drilled the holes, and there's tutorials for these online, so I'm not going to put a tutorial up. There, many people have covered this. Basically, you drill the holes, wrap the hair ties around, and you get what looks like an X. Oh yeah, Bufferfest, of course. I should have known it was never going to work. However, GPU issues, internet issues, I'm not surprised. Back to this. You get the little X mount in there, and like I was saying with the other mounts, if you move the arm or you would bump into it, you could hear it. And I'm going to tap this a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't deafen anybody that is listening. That would be a lot worse, and you'd have like a metallic reverb sound in your ears if you're using the other mounts that I showed you. But with these, it works out pretty good. Like when I tried it with headphones on, you can hear the initial impact, but it's dampened immensely. Like you're not hearing anywhere near what you should for something colliding with a mic arm that when the mic's live. So I was impressed enough. I built one at home and I was so impressed with it that I built another one. I still have 2 more to build for it up at home, and then I built 2 for the shop here. So yeah, and the mics we switched over to are pretty cheap. You get 3 for $40. However, they sound good. There shouldn't be as much noise, and hopefully the noise gate and the compressor that I did set up real quick isn't killing, sorry about that, isn't killing my audio too bad. I think I finally figured out sound engineer, so it is what it is. Keep hammering on it till we get the right thing. Once we get the right thing, we're going to be off to the races. These mics are Behringer Ultra Voice XM 1800S. You get 3 microphones with mounts for them in a case. $40. It is a cardioid pickup pattern, so it's the sensitivity around the mic. It has like a slight little bubble around it on this side, and then a big bubble around it here. So I don't know what shape you want to call it. It picks up more around this way, and then a little bit behind it, but it's more sensitive on toward the end that you're speaking into. But yeah, 3 microphones, $40. We're only using 2 of them so far. We need to get a different mixer solution. It's like a USB audio interface. The Behringer UMC 404 HD inputs for mics, and that'll cover 4 people. Not that we're going to have 4 people sitting down here and talking, but hey. So that's the new mic mount. It's Friday. Just wrapping up here at the shop. The main idea was to jump on and just talk about basic ideas, plans for the studio. Bench, leaving, counter back here, still under discussion if we're going to take it out or not. And wall definitely coming out. Put a table in the shape of like a T. And depending on which way you look at it, it would either be a letter T or an inverted T. It's going to be like one big table. And we're thinking, obviously, that end for the top part of the T, and then the upright running this way. On the top part of the T, we want to set up like all the gear, like mixer, computer, anything dealing with the audio. We're going to try and keep all the wires and everything separated. Like if it's power wires, keep it separate from the audios to avoid feedback and like any bleed over for noise. We don't try to keep any noise out of our mix here. And then on top of that, we're going to keep our internet, like any internet lines running, because it's also going to double separate from the power and from the audio cables. But yeah, other than that, a wall leaving, T-shaped table in here. We want to reconfigure the front a little. Not that it's relevant unless you've ever been here. We want to get rid of the couch and over by the register and that, and put shelving up for incoming, outgoing, and then some kind of little workstation over here in the front corner by the one window, and enclose the front area a little bit more, and move this wall and use up as much available space as we can. Get a lot of this stuff off of here, off of the counter and wall behind me, and put it on shelves. Basically, that's our plans for the new bench / podcast studio. It's kind of hard when you have one space and you're trying to like dual purpose it, but that's the future plans. Dave and I talked about it a little bit, and hopefully it works out. Like that's this winter's project, so stay tuned, and we're going to keep and possibly another, if you check on the website, audio possibly getting that whole thing set up there. And I need to do a logo, which once again traveling unfamiliar territory, like excuse me, unfamiliar territory. Definitely, I don't know anything about working with vector files. We need a larger resolution file, and There's so much info out there on the internet. Anybody could tune into like a podcast about podcasting, the Audacity podcast or the Podcaster Studio, Podcasters Roundtable. That's 3 that come to mind right off the top of my head. The School of Podcasting. So there's 4 podcasts. Anybody wants to check that out, you'll find out all about it. You need a very high resolution image, and I believe, don't hold me to it, but I believe with vector files you can scale them infinitely and they never lose their resolution. They will never pixelate. I mean, maybe somewhere down the line beyond the resolution of some monitor 1,000 years from now it may pixelate, but I don't think so. As far as I know, vector files don't pixelate, but I don't know any much about them. I just know we need a good quality image that can be scaled infinitely, and then 1400 by 1400 image, and maybe a 3000 by 3000. So yeah, I'm gonna, like, after I get the logo and I have the audio, we have the name, so we need a logo and the podcast. I should be able to get this first episode on the website and hopefully on iTunes if they, accept it. And that's pretty much that. Not really much else to say with the studio plans. Just excited because it's going to be a nice wooden table. What we're stuck on right now is, do we go with a bench, a bench that is high like this? Do we want to keep it up in the air? So we have to get, like, the chairs, like, I've seen them real commonly, like, in hospitals, like, when there's a little computer cart, and nurses or RNs or whatever will have it's basically like a computer chair, but it's up high on wheels. Do we want to get chairs like that, or do we just want to get regular office chairs? That's kind of where we're at. We're going to drop the bench down and work sitting down or work standing up, and have higher chairs to sit on for when we're going to sit down and record our podcast and whatnot. That's what we're stuck on, basically the only detail, and when we're going to start. Need a little bit of a dead spot to start, and that gets tough to do when you're busy most of the time. If anybody's hearing crazy audio issues anytime I touch or move this mic, leave it in the comments, please. I'd like to know. I'm going to watch this back, but if anybody hears something I don't, let me know. So, just wrapping up here. Friday. Current issue I am stuck on, being that this is PC related. Tower over here on the end. It has a Windows 10 on it. It has a Microsoft account linked to it. So you log in with your Microsoft account password. The password was forgotten. I recovered the password online, but now the computer, even though it's plugged into the network, communicating with Microsoft servers, it will not log in. So is it another issue, infection, something going on, messing with the user account? Don't know. But stay tuned. Update in another video, maybe this weekend or coming up Monday, Tuesday next week. That's the one that's been bugging me for a day or two now, trying to get that sorted out. I've never ran into this particular problem, but similar ones to it. So, what was the date? Oh yeah, this graphics card is definitely dying. I'm surprised this is even working, honestly. I didn't see it working. Like, I clicked, that was a good, you're not seeing a delay. Like, I legit clicked, and like between 10 and 15 seconds later my calendar popped up. So the old Core 2 quad and 9800 era is coming to an end. It died long ago, but I thought I'd use it for as long as I could. Gonna find out. So that thing came in, we're gonna say on the 23rd, roughly. Alright, phone number. '66. Alright, podcast. I keep forgetting that I'm live right now, trying to work and do this. Apologies. But other than that, yeah. Oh, this weekend I'm gonna try and get down here, do a live stream this weekend. I would try and schedule that, but I don't want to schedule something and then not be able to do it because I'm busy with other stuff, so that's why I never schedule things. But I would like to do daily stuff. It's just life does not permit that, and my internet at home is so picky that, yeah, it doesn't happen that way. Oh, 409. This is a short one. I guess we'll end this here. That was only a few minutes for the podcast. Episode 2, official episode 2, non-official episode 3 of the podcast. We're going to get Dave in here, sit him down, and maybe we'll talk about the studio design, his ideas and thoughts on it some more. That could be fun. Just gotta pin him, pin him down for spitting knowledge for everyone. But with that, guys, I'm gonna sign off here, get the rest of my paperwork done for this week, and hopefully catch everybody this weekend. Have a great weekend. Anyone on a podcast listening, probably not relevant, but have a great weekend too. Life's too short to be at odds and bickering, fighting, war. It's stupid, not always necessary. Just life's good. We all need to realize that. And you see someone down, help them up. Help them up, help